This is Michael.
You're so cute. Yá'át'ééh, Masananishne. I am Navajo Grandma. I wanted to welcome you today to talk to you about a really important subject. It is celebrating Christmas together. Today is Christmas Eve. As we think about each other and our families, we want to be together. That's what holidays do. They bring us together. You know, having your mother and your father and your grandmas, your aunties coming to visit, and the different foods that they bring, you know, just celebrating together and making memories. And that's what the Diné people do. That's a wonderful celebration of each other and how important that is. It's very sobering when you think about how precious life is. I have expressed to you before that I am a Native American genealogy researcher. And this has taught me wonderful blessings. We are global. It used to be that we started here in the continental USA. But if you understand the history of America, that many of the Native Americans who fought in the World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, many of them left their DNA in the countries that they fought. Because of that, many people are coming to us. Their children are of age where they're older, as well as, if you understand history, the Europeans came here, and guess what? This whole American continent basically was filled all the way up to Canada, and was filled with Native Americans. Just multi-millions of them existed. This is before when the flu killed most of them. The Europeans came on the ships, and they were men who married into, of course, met and married many Native Americans. So there's a very high percentage of Americans have Native ancestry, Native American ancestry. Many families and many of the youth and the generations are now seeking, asking questions. And you heard in one of my very first videos, who am I? Where did I come from? And they want to know. This is an inquiry that's always there, or they've heard they are Native American. So that inquiry is constant as a genealogy researching company. When they inquire, I like to ask where they found us, and usually they'll say, well, the Smithsonian, the National Archives, the APG. These are professional genealogists. It's a company that has researchers with different professions, and ours is Native American ancestral research. So we bring families together. I'm going to share a story with you, talk about bringing families together. There's so many to pick from, but I'll share this one. We had an inquiry from a precious girl. She was married, and she had known that she was adopted with a family back east. They were Caucasian. She was Native American, and had an idea where she came, you know, what tribe maybe. She wasn't too positive. And she called us and said, please, I need to know who I am. I looked at my birth certificate, and it only has a very unusual name. In fact, I don't even know my birth mother. At that point, we looked through the research. We found her father, and we found the tribe. It was incredible because she came all the way back from the east, and we gave her directions on where to go, found the father, and told him, you know, did you know you had a daughter? He said, well, I guess I better sit down. He kind of had an inkling. He wasn't sure. It's kind of like back there in his mind. And he almost broke down in tears. I explained to him, she's looking for you, and she loves you. She wants to know who you are. So they did meet. I heard what happened, and it was wonderful. I know there were a lot of tears, a lot of explanations, and come to find out her father was one of the head tribal leaders. She wanted her children to know who they were. And so the eventual outcome was she became enrolled. We helped her get all that done. And her father, being the tribal member, did all of the most wonderful rituals. And the whole place come and gathered and blessed her with a ritual of welcoming. They gave her her baby washing. Remember, she's older now, but because she missed that, they did the baby washing and the naming, and then all of the rituals leading up to her adulthood. And I thought that was so precious, and all I could hear was tears every time, and her gratitude. Her father has moved closer to her, and he knows all of his grandchildren, and they are very happy. I don't think any of us understand when we are adopted and we don't know who we are, that these are the binding ties. And thank you. I always think the stars that we've learned how to do research and to bring families together. There were so many stories. I mean, I could be here the rest of my life explaining all of the different wonderful stories that were given. Every day, multiple inquiries come in. Everyone wants to know. Their statements are, my parents have talked about, or my grandmother in her dying breath said, so-and-so came on the Trail of Tears from Tennessee, ended up in Oklahoma. And the tears that come from that. Our family has come together. We want to know where and who. And when we have success, it's amazing. I want to share this with you. I've noticed that some of your comments entail finding out you are Native American, or you don't know your tribe, or you know your tribe, you were told that, those type of things. You need to do the research to do this. It's required. You need to. All of the information about our research company will be down below this video. If there's questions you have, don't be afraid to call and ask. We're always there. We love you. We want to bring families together, and the heartstrings that it entails, the definition, being a part of a family. It's so important, and it's so relevant to all of us, and it's a blessing so that we can come and be whole. And it's so wonderful. And it is a very sobering topic to come to know who you are. And you have that ability. I'm Navajo, I'm Yá'át'ééh, and I'm born from my father, who is Heartwarming. And this is the blessings I've been given, to be raised to understand how to research. And I want to extend my hand to you and to help you define who you are and where you came from. So Navajo Grandma loves you. Remember that. And let's see what gifts we can give to you. Inquire and find out. This is Navajo Grandma, Dinam. I send my love. Just subscribe. Find out. Inquire and ask us. Thank you. And we'll see you in another video.